Hello! Hello everyone and welcome to the Ultimate Comic Book Recap DC Edition. This is the show where we bring you weekly recaps of your favorite comic books, giving you the essentials that happened last week, plus spoilers, so that you understand what is happening so you can go buy the comic books at the store tomorrow. And don't worry, the best stories in this mix will be covered with a complete story. First up today is going to be Wonder Woman number 19. Now in this story, Diana finally gets to leave the mental institution and she discovers that she in fact has never been to Themyscira after she initially left. And yes, I know I mispronounced it, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about, Paradise Island. Anyway, it turns out that everything is apparently a delusion in her mind, including the New 52 run where she got to be the God of War. I'm rather disappointed in this because shockingly, me and 3 other people really did enjoy that. It's gone now. So anyway, that's Wonder Woman number 19, and now she's trying to battle against various individuals to continue that storyline.
We open Detective Comics number 953 with James Gordon being called in from a very fun vacation because the kids lit the house on fire and the babysitter needs to evacuate the city, and by that I of course mean Gotham City. Meanwhile, we get more insights into Orphan's past training, her struggles, and we see that Clayface is indeed worthy of the World's Best Friend Award. Back at the Batcave, the League of Assassins has broken in to find a very vulnerable and unguarded Kate Kane waiting for them. They quickly apprehend her, drag her to her father's cell, and then stab her in front of his horrified eyes. The issue wraps up with a final confrontation between Orphan and her mother and the reveal of Ra's al Ghul strutting his stuff right into Batman's territory.
In Blue Beetle, we end up finding out that DC reached all the way back to 1982 with Warlord Volume 1, number 55, to give us the return of Orion. I don't know why. But what I do know is that I've been getting cut off recently in my discussions about Superman. Don't worry. I've got plans in motion to take care of that. Benny, Dylan, we'll be talking soon.
Batgirl number 19 picks up with Barbara's investigation into Vic Form and Penguin's son. Shockingly, it turns out that young people are into things like Pokemon Go and Facebook. Go figure, right? And it's used for data mining. Who would have thought? It's not like that's a conspiracy theory. I'm gonna go get my tinfoil hat after this. After that, Batgirl goes on a 50 Shades of Hipster party with Vic, Penguin's son, to which she then sneaks away, breaks into the corporation where she's confronted by Penguin and a deadly game of table tennis. Wait, really? Table tennis?
Teen Titans number 6 introduces, or should I say reintroduces, Aqualad. Raised by his mother in the high and dry New Mexico, Aqualad struggles to find himself, balancing his identities between a normal kid and superpowered teen. He takes one last risk in an attempt to truly be himself by showing his powers to his boyfriend, who responds by running away in fear and in anger. Taking this as a sign, Aqualad leaves New Mexico for the Titans Tower, and it's incredibly fortunate because around the bay of the Titans headquarters there have been some reported king shark attacks.
In Flash number 19, we finally get what we wanted! Flash and Captain Boomerang teaming up to escape a firing squad. What? Nobody wanted that? Right, whatever, it's still interesting, because after that, Wally and Flash run off, to which Barry Allen finally reveals the thing that we have been waiting for, his identity to Wally. Of course, Wally at first is excited that it is in fact Barry Allen, and they hug, and they don't kiss because that would be weird, but then Wally begins to question, why didn't Barry actually tell him? Can he not trust Barry? Is he so untrustworthy that he's like the Reverse Flash, his uncle, Daniel West? Put that together!
Suicide Squad number 14, Harley Quinn finally snaps. And by snaps, I mean becomes more coherent than she usually is. In this issue, she is currently seeking vengeance on Deadshot for the murder of Hack and the betrayal of the Suicide Squad. Basically, the entire thing is just one really long fight scene with plenty of bloods, bullets, and mallets. Along with, surprise, surprise, Amanda Waller coming back from the dead. I swear to God, she has come back more times than Goku in Dragon Ball Z. Seriously though, does she have all the Dragon Balls or something?
All right, guys, it's time for Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns number 17. Now, this is amazing because we finally have answers as to what's going on with the White Lantern. If you've been following the Green Lantern saga, then you know that there's a White Lantern with the power of every other lantern. They have all of the emotions in the emotional spectrum, which is incredible, except it kind of created a situation where Kyle basically had the powers of God. He was Space Jesus. So how do you reintroduce Kyle Rayner without dealing with Space Jesus? Well, you break apart the white ring and you allow Kyle Rayner to get the green ring, bringing us back to a 90s Green Lantern Kyle Rayner. I can't believe how... Hi, Rob.
Benny, my man, Benny. You and I need to come to an understanding. Some of you guys may have noticed Benny's not here. Well, the reason why is because I've been getting cut off for the last couple weeks, and I've decided to remove Benny from the equation, so he won't be joining us for the rest of his life. But I want to talk about Superman Reborn, because this is one of the greatest stories of all time. I told people it was Mr. Mxyzptlk. It turned out to be Mr. Mxyzptlk. Do not deny me on this. Rob is love, Rob is life. Now, we also saw Jonathan Kent being kidnapped, which of course was a beautiful moment in and of itself, just because Jonathan was panicking. We saw Superman and Lois Lane racing after to try to find him, only for Lois Lane to lose her memory of the fact that she ever had a kid in the first place. It was a beautiful, beautiful piece of storytelling, almost as beautiful as how I dealt with Benny for cutting me off so often. Now, what we also got was Mr. Mxyzptlk kind of dancing around and talking about Mr. Oz and how Mr. Oz, was making superheroes disappear, much like what I did a minute ago with Benny. And it is such a cool sight to see, but we ultimately get the return of Superman, indicating that maybe New 52 Superman and pre-New 52 Superman were perhaps two sides of the same coin, and they're now being merged back into a singular being. No real idea here, but it is beautifully done. It's one of the best comics that I've read in quite some time. My final thoughts on this would be that this story is the best thing coming out of DC Rebirth right now. With that being said, guys, those are the key stories that we read this week, but there are a few stories that we think deserve some kind of recognition for what they have to offer, and here they are. In Deathstroke number 15, Power Girl meets her mortal enemy, Deadlines. In Hellblazer number 8, it turns out that John Constantine's sidekick has the ability to communicate and control demons, and she's hiding it from John Constantine. So yeah, that was our weekly roundup for DC Comics this week. If you guys are interested in seeing Marvel Comics here on Comicstorian, then be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, if you guys want to see content from a YouTuber who's currently alive, be sure to come over to Comics Explained and subscribe to my channel. You can also find us on Twitter, @CMonster, Comicstorian, and Comics Explained. With that being said, we will see you guys tomorrow and next week. Peace. The hooker had webbed feet. Blech.